Hello students, welcome to this module of the welder trade. In this topic, we will learn how to perform fillet weld T-joint on aluminium sheet 1.6 mm thickness in flat position using gas tungsten arc welding GTAW.
Objectives. At the end of this exercise, you shall be able to prepare the sheet as per size 150 mm length, 50 mm width and 1.6 mm thickness. Select correct type and size of tungsten electrode and filler metal. Set the plate as T-joint and tack weld at both the end. Deposit weld bead using leftward technique. Clean weld bead with steel wire brush. Inspect the weld bead for any surface defects. Now, let us look at the tools and materials required for fillet weld. T-joint on aluminium sheet 1.6 mm thick in flat position using gas tungsten arc welding. Tools and materials: steel rule, scriber, ball peen hammer, tri-square, tongs, steel wire brush, filler rods, welding torch, key or spanner, helmet type screen, gas regulator with preheater cum flow meter, welding power source, GTAW machine, shielding gas cylinder, tungsten electrode, foot switch, center punch, aluminium sheet 1.6 mm thick. Let us look at the pre-welding preparations for fillet weld. T-joint on aluminium sheet 1.6 mm thick in flat position using gas tungsten arc welding. Pre-welding preparation: wear appropriate personal protective equipment PPE such as safety goggles, gloves and ear protection to safeguard against potential hazards. Ensure you have a well-lit and adequately ventilated workspace. Take an aluminium sheet with required size for marking and cutting. Keep the aluminium sheet on the welding table. Apply the marking media over the sheet for marking the measurement. Keep ready with all the necessary measuring equipments for marking on the welding table. Use a ruler or measuring tape to mark the desired cutting line 150 mm length, 50 mm width accurately on the aluminium sheet 1.6 mm thick for 2 pieces. Use a scriber for marking the visible lines. Keep the hand shearing machine aligned with the marked cutting line as you continue to apply pressure. A slow and controlled cutting motion will yield the best results, preventing jagged edges and deformation of the sheet. After the cut is finished, carefully examine the edges of the aluminium sheet for smoothness and accuracy. File the rough edges if needed to achieve a clean and even finish. Clean the surface with the stainless steel wire brush. Also, do the chemical cleaning with acetone or alcohol to remove dirt. Setting up the GTAW machine. Check the power cables of the welding machines. Ensure that power cables are not having cuts in between ends. If you identify any defects, it is to be rectified immediately. Check the welding torch cables for any defects. Check the welding torch and ensure that it is correctly working. Switch on the welding machine and check the voltage and ampere. If the voltage and ampere are correct, then set up the machine for the welding process. Select aluminium filler wire 1.6 mm, 95% aluminium and 5% silicon. Set the amperage at 75 to 100 ampere. Set the gas flow rate at 7 lpm, liters per minute for argon gas. Strike the arc on a scrap plate. If the test is perfect, then proceed for the welding process. Set the first sheet over the welding table. Keep the second sheet at the center of the bottom sheet, that is perpendicular to the bottom sheet. Use a 1.6 mm size tungsten zirconium electrode. Select 95% aluminium, 5% silicon filler wire 1.6 mm. Tack weld at equal intervals, 50 mm spacing, so that the plates are set to form 90-degree equal T. Now let us look at the welding process of T-joint on aluminium sheet 1.6 mm thick in flat position using gas tungsten arc welding. Keep the tack welded aluminium sheet T-joint on the welding table in a flat position. Position the tack welded T-joint workpiece on the welding table in such a way to do the welding process in a flat position. Set up the gas tungsten arc welding plant. Select the power supply as follows. A. In case of helium, as shielding gas, use DCEN. B. In case of argon as shielding gas, use an AC power source. Majority of welding is done using argon gas. Keep the argon cylinder next to the machine in a trolley at a safer distance. Check the valve of the argon cylinder. Use the cylinder key to open and check the gas pressure. Fix the gas flow meter and regulator on the argon gas cylinder. Check the fixed gas flow meter and regulator for any gas leakage. If any leakage is identified, rectify it immediately. Fix the gas flow cable, one end to the regulator with the fixing clamp. Fix the other end of the cable to the welding torch. Select aluminium filler wire 1.6 mm, 95% aluminium and 5% silicon. Before setting the amperage, it is better to see the guideline or user manual for setting. Set the amperage at 75 to 100 ampere. Use the gas regulator for setting the gas flow rate. It is better to check the user guideline or user manual for setting up of gas flow rate. Set the gas flow rate at 7 lpm, liters per minute, for argon gas. Strike the arc on a scrap plate. Check the reinforcement of the weld bead and ensure that correct size is maintained. Keep ready with the filler rod. The filler rod and torch are held at an angle of 10 to 15 degree and 70 to 80 degree to the line of weld. Finish the welding and ensure to fill the crater. Check the reinforcement of the weld bead and maintain size. If necessary, deposit the second run with uniform travel speed. Clean the weld bead with stainless steel wire brush. Inspect the weld bead for any surface defects. Let us see the defects now. Blowholes, excess reinforcement, porosity, lack of penetration, humps. Safety precautions for tungsten inert gas (TIG). Never install fuses higher than specified. Ensure the electrical connections are tight. Never open the machine when in operation. Maintain good ventilation. Use proper color lenses. Wear proper clothing. Wear safety glasses when grinding. Keep combustibles out of the weld area. Always earth the welding machine properly. Go along the leftward direction. Avoid over deposition by using a proper angle and travel speed of the torch. Inspect the weld for equal leg length and correct size.
Recap: at the end of this topic, you will be able to prepare the sheets as per 150 mm length, 50 mm width and 1.6 mm thickness. Select type and size of tungsten electrode and filler metal. Set the plate as T-joint and tack weld at both the end. Deposit weld bead in leftward technique. Clean weld bead with steel wire brush. Inspect the weld bead for any surface defects. I hope you all understood the welding process of fillet weld, T-joint on aluminium sheet, 1.6 mm thickness in flat position using gas tungsten arc welding. Thank you students, and let us meet in the next session. Bye.